Hi, Assalamualaikum and good day everyone. We are from Group 12, Introduction to Psychology. Today we will present to you guys about the movie review of My Name is Khan.
My name is Mawaddatul Husna binti Mustafa, metric number 275354. First of all, let's start with the psychological disorder in My Name is Khan movie. The main character for this movie is Rizwan Khan, a man that suffers with Asperger's syndrome disorder. Asperger's syndrome is a part of a group of conditions called autism spectrum disorder. For the diagnosis, Rizwan Khan had been diagnosed with Asperger's syndrome by his sister-in-law Hasina after he reached adulthood and moves to the US. For the symptom, people with Asperger's syndrome have trouble understanding social norms, which we see in Rizwan Khan when, for instance, his neighbor asks if he likes her cooking and he responds, no at all. And when he indicates to Mandira that a snack she is about to eat will make her fat. Furthermore, many people with the disorder suffer from sensory difficulties. Rizwan Khan is no exception. We learn through flashbacks that from an early age, Khan has an intense dislike for the color yellow, have trouble hugging his mother, and also is easily overwhelmed by noise. This disorder can be treated in several ways, such as cognitive behavioral therapy or also known as CBT. In CBT, the person learns to control emotions and decrease obsessive interest and repetitive routines. Another way is speech therapy. In speech therapy, a speech pathologist can work with that person to learn voice control and modulation.
Hi, Assalamualaikum. My name is African Najwa binti Muhammad Zubi, matrix number 273139. Here, I will talk about the physiological disorder. Firstly, how will the life be when living with the physical disorder, which is Asperger disorder? Asperger syndrome made the individual feel difficult to communicate and social, so it will make others unable or hard to understand the individual, especially the new person. Sometimes, others can underestimate or consider the person as crazy. However, this film describes the situation not as something that limits Han, but as something that enriches him and everyone around him. When public attention was brought to Han's prison, he was eventually released for being recognized by force where his actions were motivated by Asperger's and that he was truly not a terrorist. But still, in real life, so many people with Asperger are barely so clear, and they also do not get much praise or public understanding from the official as far as Han does. Secondly, what are the impacts of the physical disorder have on oneself as well as to the other people in his life? The peculiarity of Asperger disorder is that the person with the disorder often interprets the language literally, but the literal interpretation of the language that drives Han's journey to track down the president of the United States, as he was asked to tell the US president that he was not a terrorist if he wanted to return home. Next, the impact of Asperger disorder to others around him is misunderstood or offended by his action and speech. It is because the individual with Asperger disorder will speak what he wants to speak and do what he wants to do, without thinking about others' feelings or think about him, as he has trouble understanding social norms. For instance, Han directly said to his neighbor that he did not like to cook at all, and also he has said to his wife Mandira that she will be fat if keep eating the snake. In this world, Of course, most of us will interpret this behavior as rude or insulting, but Han never reprimanded for this bad attitude. And the third is, what are the factors that cause the character in this movie, which is Han, to live with this physiological disorder? Some factor that cause Han to live with this SPG disorder is the disorder includes that affect his social interaction. Based on this film, My Name is Han, he grew up in India and already show some symptom of SPG disorder in all his life, but nobody noticed it, even though his own mother, until after reaching adulthood and immigrating to America. In America, he was sponsored by his younger brother who had left India before to continue his study in the US. Because he felt that his mother and all the community had given the praise and attention too much to his Han as the boy who knows how to fix electrical appliances and recite historical facts. However, Han and also all the people with SPG disorder were suffering from sensory difficulties. From an early age, Han was very disliked by the color yellow, had trouble hugging his mother, and originally was easily struck by the voice.
Assalamualaikum, my name is Azima binti Anwar, matric number 272847. So, I will present about the theories that I have learned, which is related to the movie that I watched, which is My Name is Han. For the first one, theory that I have noticed is behavioral theories. Behavioral theories is simply defined as a change what you do with guidance from therapist. The example from the movie, as we know that Rizwan is diagnosed with Asperger's syndrome by his sister-in-law, Hasina. He was the first one to find out that Rizwan has that Asperger's syndrome. We know that in the movie, Hasina did guide Rizwan to overcome the fear, because we know that Rizwan is fear of the new place, new people, and also his hatred of the yellow and sharp sound. So in the movie, Hasina did give a Rizwan camera for him to record the road in order to make him familiar with the new place and overcome the fear. Next theory is humanistic theory. Humanism is a philosophy that stresses, rather than looking at the religious, divine, or spiritual issues, the importance of human factors. In the movie, Rizwan's mother teach him morality lesson that harm the remainder of the movie, which is a mother teach her son that the classification of the Muslim and also the Hindu are not the right categories to define the others, but suggest that the categories of the good and evil are more relevant. Third one is social psychology theories. Social psychology theory is known as the empirical studies of how the ideas, feeling, belief, desire, and also the ambition of the individual. As we know that in the movie, Rizwan's stepchild is killed due to the hatred problems toward Muslim society. In that, Rizwan's wife Mandira put all the blame to him and charged him with the responsibility of telling the president that he is not a terrorist and he is not going back to her until he achieved that. And to be surprised that Rizwan take that seriously to show that his stepchild that is not because of his religion. That's all.
Hi and Assalamualaikum everyone. My name is Shahzana Ifazana binti Sulaiman. My matrix number 273044. Today I'll be explaining about personalities of the characters in the movie My Name is Han. I've choose to talk about personalities of the main character, which I name Rizwan Khan. First of all, he is a very conscientious person, which is a very hardworking person. For instance, along the way to be the president, he was ran out of money, so he decided to use his ability to gain money, which he can repair almost everything. So there was one scene where he repaired a broke car and got money from that. Secondly, he is an agreeable person, which people with with this personality, usually a very helpful person. We can see in the movie where Rizwan Khan willing to go back to Georgia just to make sure his Michelle, Mama Jenny, and her son Joey were safe from flood. And also when he was there, he helped the community to handle that situation. Last but not least, he has the personality of need for achievement, which people with this personality usually will try so hard, will work very hard to achieve their goals, which Rizwan Khan have goals to meet the president just to fulfill what have been asked by his wife, and he had to face so many obstacles along the way, and at the end of the movie he managed to meet the president. So I think that's all from me. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Irashini Krishnan. My ID number is 275308. Now I'm going to present about my part, which is question E. In this question E, they are asking about the types of psychological learning. As I know, from this movie there are 3 types of psychological learning, which is classical conditioning, operant conditioning, and observational learning. Now let us see the first conditioning, which is classical conditioning. What is classical conditioning? Classical conditioning is learning occurs by forming association between naturally occurring stimuli and previously neutral stimuli. Apart from this definition, classical conditioning we also can say it as focuses on automatic naturally occurring behavior. For example, in this movie, Rizwan Khan, which is Shah Rukh Khan, will use some kind of stones to keep his behavior adapt with the environment, so that he knows what he is doing and what is happening around him with the sound of the stone. Second conditioning is operant conditioning. What is operant conditioning? Operant conditioning is learning occurs when behavior are followed by either punishment or reinforcement. This will happen when the time Rizwan Khan having some kind of behavioral problem, which he should adapt with the environment with the different types of people, so that he can maintain his behavior, because he is an autism person who will not able to communicate well with the other person. Other than this conditioning, the last one is observational learning. What is observational learning? Observational learning is focused on learning by imitation or observing people's behavior. For example, in this movie, Rizwan Khan will go meet US president to mention that he is an Islam person and he is not a terrorist, just by followed his wife's advices and his wife's conditions. That's all from me. Thank you so much.
Assalamualaikum and hi. My name is Nohuda Binti University and my matric number is 273047. Okay, today I will explain about intrinsic and extrinsic motivation and identify some example that I can extract from movie that I and my groupmate choose. My name is Han. Intrinsic motivation is a motivation that comes from our desire or willing to do something. This motivation also comes when we have the real interest and we feel alive to do something. The example that I can take from My Name is Khan is when Rizwan willing to go Georgia to help Mama Jenny and Fadi health Joes when they have hurricanes that happen at their places. This is show that Rizwan willingness to help somebody. Second is extrinsic motivation, which is extrinsic is referring to behavior or of individual to perform because of external rewards or avoid from punishment. Example that indicate intrinsic motivation from the movie My Name is Khan is when Louis wants to everyone in the salon where Mandira's works that he has to sell Mehsan beauty products, but he don't know how to sell it, and his brother said to him that his job to do that. Intrinsic motivation, something external, but first external forces that make you to do some things and make you have a new skills or new task, and you have gain something because you want to gain some reward or avoid from punishment. So that's all for me.